This is a video that's going to help you get ready for Chapter 4. Um, Chapter 4 is all about multiplying and dividing fractions. And I just want to review quickly what a fraction is. What does it mean? I know you know that like 3 over 4 or 3/4, you know that's a fraction. It's called a fraction. But what does it mean? What does the 3 mean? What does the 4 mean? I also know that you probably understand that the top number is the numerator, and the bottom one is the denominator. Okay, we know those words. We know that this is a fraction. We know this is a numerator. But what does 3/4 mean? Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. And let's talk about 3/4 right now. The top number is the parts. So I have 3 parts of a whole. Okay, parts of a whole. Like a whole is one complete thing. So parts of a whole, and the bottom number is how many parts you need to get to that whole. So this first part is the parts that you have. This one is the parts you need to make the whole. So 3/4. I'm going to do it like this. So I have one whole rectangle there. That's 1. Parts I need to get to a whole, I'm going to break it up into 4 parts. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts. Now 3/4, parts of a whole, I have 3 of them. So there's 1, 2, 3. I don't have the whole thing. I just have 3 of the parts, 3 of the 4 parts. Okay? 3/4. So I have more than half. I'm getting close to having the whole thing. The closer that these two numbers are together, the closer they are to that one whole. Because if I do have a fraction 4/4, then I have 4 parts of the 4 that make up a whole, which means I have 1. Okay? Some of this is review. I just want you to understand. I want you to have some understanding of the fraction. Okay. So parts of a whole, parts that make up the whole. Okay. Fraction. The other way to talk about a fraction is that it's a part between 0 and 1. As long as you have a proper fraction, a proper fraction means that this number is smaller and this number is bigger. Okay? So as long as your top number is smaller, you have a proper fraction, and that is always going to be between 0 and 1. Okay? 0 and 1. Now, there's another name for a fraction. Instead of a proper fraction, you could have an improper fraction. So that im means not proper. Okay? So let's look at that. Proper would be like 2/5. 2/5. Smaller number on top, bigger number at the bottom. Improper would be 6/4. 6/4. Okay? When you have an improper, it means you have some whole numbers in that. So I'm going to diagram these two fractions, and you can see how they're different. So 2/5. So I need something with 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go like that. A little bit more equal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals parts, and I have 2 of the parts. 1, 2. That represents that. Okay? So now this one, 4 parts equals a whole. So there's my whole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got my whole number. Every 4 times, every 4 parts equals a whole. So now I have 6 of them. I have 6. This is improper, but I have 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, I need more. So I need to put another whole down here. I'm going to put another. Okay, so there's 4. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, but I need 6, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I have my 6 represented, but it only takes 4 to get a whole. So there's 4 for a whole, 4 for a whole. So this equals 1. This equals 2 fourths. Okay? So another way to represent this number would be 1 whole and 2 fourths. Now, this 2 fourths could be reduced. I'll put that later. 2 fourths can be simplified or reduced. Okay? So I could go 2 and 4. I want to find a number that goes into each of those. I know 2 goes into each of them, so I divide each by 2. That's 1 half. So 2 fourths is the same as 1 half. You just simplified it. So 1 and 1 half. So 6 fourths is equal to 1, and 2 fourths equal to 1 and a half. Now, this is called a proper fraction. Improper fraction. This is called a mixed number. And the reason why it'd be mixed is because you have whole numbers and fractions. Okay? You have the whole number and then a proper fraction that goes with it, makes it a mixed number. Improper just means that the number on top is bigger than the one on the bottom, and proper means that the number on top is smaller than the one on the bottom. You just have part of it. Okay? All right. I like to think of this always, the top being how many parts of a whole do I have? And then the bottom being how many parts of the whole do I need to make it a whole? Okay. The other thing I'll say real quick is, because you're going to get some big numbers, you might get something when you multiply fractions, you might get like 42 over 6. Okay? This is improper, so you could go, how many parts does it make to make a whole? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I need 42 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got to do another 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I still need lots. And you keep going on until you get the number of holes you need. Okay? But you also need to know that this line right here represents the fraction, this many parts over that many to make a whole. It also means divided by. Okay? So I could do 42 divided by 6. And then how many times does 6 go into 42? 7. All right? The other way to see that, I want you to know that this line means divided by. This is important when we go from fractions to decimals, but tuck that away. The other thing we could do is I can simplify this. Is there a number that goes into each of these? Now, I know 6 goes into each of them, but sometimes I go a little bit at a time. I know they're both even, so I can cut them in half. Divided by 2, divided by 2. 42 divided by half is 21. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, I see that 3 goes into each of these. Divided by 3, divided by 3. That equals 7 over 1. 7 over 1. 7 divided one way is 7. Okay? The other way to look at it is if 1 is my whole, I need 7. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are all wholes, all ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 divided by 1 equals 7. Okay? So, fractions. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of a reminder of things that are important. Understanding. You got to understand a fraction, what it is. When you understand what it is, how it's a part of something, part of a whole, then multiplying and dividing is not that difficult. There's some systems that I'll be teaching you that will help you to figure this stuff out. So, okay, that's your little foundations to fractions, and now you're ready to jump into 4.1.